What's up, everybody? Josh Armijo here. I hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I got an Arsenal inventory update to do for you guys. Vinyl this time, and I got some nice moldy oldies to run through here today. Some demo compilations, some reissues, and some bands that I think you need to be paying attention to. But first, what we were listening to in the background, Satan, Life Sentence. Classic new wave of British heavy metal shit. Honestly, I haven't heard their newest album to come out this year, but I'll get around to it eventually. I just have a lot of music to get through this month, so yeah. Definitely check out Satan. They're really, really good. Okay. The first records I'm going to show you are of the same artist, and I'm going to be presenting them together because I got this as a set, and I feel it's only appropriate that I show it together as both a set here. This is Dr. Shrinker with Archive 1 and Archive 2. Yeah. This is released through Nuclear War Now Productions, and this is a compilation set of material of the vast majority of this band's body of work, aside from their debut full-length from a couple of years ago, Contorted Dioramic Palette. Yeah, but yeah. Dr. Shrinker are based out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and they play this really, really grimy, nasty, ugly style of death metal. They put out a very, very celebrated early discography back in the late 80s and the 90s. Just some really, really killer shit. This little archive set pretty much embodies a lot of what this band did in the past. Some live and early demos and rehearsals, and one thing that's most notable about this particular release is the fact that Archive 2 has the full demo sets, like Wedding the Grotesque. That's easily the demo that I think a lot of people know Dr. Shrinker best for, but also you have some other 1990s demos, the Eponymum demo, Necrosis Session, but yeah. Wedding the Grotesque is an absolutely classic piece of death metal here, and this band was really, truly one of a kind in their lyrical content, in their music, in their deliveries, in their vocals. It just is served as a big, big major influence to a lot of death metal bands of the day, and I think this is a really, really killer compilation. Everything sounds fantastic, and definitely if you are into Dr. Shrinker, you'll find something very special with this album. I definitely would recommend getting into this band's early material, not to mention get into listening to Contorted Dioramic Palette. That album is still fantastic. This band is not together anymore, but I think Dr. Shrinker really have set an amazing legacy with their full-length material, so yeah. Since I got this as a set, I'll show you both records at a time, one at a time here. But yeah, here's Archive 1. There you see this really, really badass artwork here. Back cover with a track listing and credits for what's which. These are all of the rehearsal and live material. Yeah. It's a gatefold. There you have a classic band photo. And you have lyrics and credits for most of the songs that are on here. Both of these LPs come with a poster. And the poster that comes with this is some classic live poster material. Yeah. Really, really badass stuff here. Love this a lot. Now I'm going to show you the other LP in question. Yeah, different artwork, different opposite sort of side stuff. Very, very cool nonetheless. Track listing and credits, as you can see, the vast majority is the Wedding the Grotesque demo, and you have the leather to 1990s material. Another gatefold with another band photo and lyrics and credits. You have another live poster here of a live performance and stuff. Very, very classic and authentic stuff. The difference between both of these sets is if you get them together, they come with this really, really cool, slip to the floor here. Yeah, this live booklet of classic photos, liner notes, and credits. Pretty much a detailed history of this band. Absolutely badass shit. Yeah, that's one of the many things I enjoy about this Dr. Shrinker set, and they both came on either standard black vinyl, or if you got the Die Hard with both LPs, they both came on a red vinyl. Of course, this is record number 1 of the first set, and the second LP set also on a red vinyl. Yeah, love the center labelings, very old school, very nice touch on these things. But yeah, I definitely recommend anybody getting into Dr. Shrinker if you're into classic Midwest sort of style of death metal. Very good shit. I can't recommend this enough. But yeah, Dr. Shrinker, Archive number 1 and Archive number 2. Definitely check this one out. Next up we have another piece of death metal, but this time this one's a little bit more modern and contemporary, and this is probably one of the best contemporary sort of death metal bands to be existing, one of the most brutal and one of the most heaviest. This is Dying Fetus with Descend into Depravity. Yeah. This is their 2009 full length, and this was the last reissue from 2017 that I needed to pick up, because I know last year when Relapse put out their brand new full-length album, they reissued a whole bunch of Dying Fetus records. Of course, I got some of the early classics, but this one was something that I didn't have on vinyl, but I needed to get. But luckily, fortunately, I found this locally, and yeah. This was the follow-up to War of Attrition, and I definitely feel that this album is a much stronger, much more well-contented sort of record. I mean, listening to songs like Your Treachery Will Die With You, Shepherd's Commandment, Conceived into Enslavement, At What Expense, you just got some of the current day Dying Fetus stuff going on here, but yet these riffs, the production, the drumming, and I think this is the first album to feature Trey Williams on the drums here, and he's been with the band ever since then, and he's been doing nothing short of great work with the band. His drum style is very distinctive, and it's very heavy, and I love the way he sounds on this record. It's really great drum performance. But as far as the rest of the album is concerned, it's the Dying Fetus business as usual. The bass tones, the guitar riffs, the slammy breakdowns, the guttural vocals, the roars, they're all there. This album still holds up very nicely, and I had a great time listening to this thing. But yeah, here's the front cover. Love this album cover. I definitely feel like this is Max Payne going on somewhat of a rampage here, but I fucking love this album cover. Back cover, more killer photography and artwork, track listing and credits. Comes with a lyric sheet for all the tracks on here, and you have credits and stuff in the middle, and thanks and all that. More badass photography and lyrics. And there are two different variants that came on these reissues. There was a crystal clear with blood red splatter, but I just found the standard black vinyl. Good quality any which way you look at it. Really badass stuff. But yeah, Dying Fetus are continuing to work their ass off and tour and play music. It's just really awesome. I fucking love Dying Fetus. But yeah, Descend into Depravity, really top-notch record. It still holds up quite nicely. From the dirtiest of death metal to the most cult and true of black metal here. When I found out Season of Mist was reissuing this album, I was extremely pumped and excited to see it done, because once this album got put out on vinyl, I was very curious to know. I'm going to definitely be keeping an eye on when they put out the rest of this band's body of work. They just put out a new full-length album this year, but nothing beats the classics. This is Kraft with Total Soul Rape. Yeah. This is their debut full-length album from 2002. This is a 2018 reissue through Season of Mist, and this is the first time in a long time that this full-length album has been out. It's been out of print for a really long time, but it finally got the well-deserved reissue treatment. And of course, if you know THROAAT, they are based out of Sweden, and they are a very, very notable name when it comes to black metal for their sound, their experience. It's just a really, really killer band, and this band has put out a lot of classics over the years. I mean, this album in particular was a great way to get the ball rolling for THROAAT. World of Plague, Death to Planet Earth, Ultimate Satan, Vile. Absolutely classic THROAAT songs on this one. And yeah, really, really killer album, and I think all this time later, it still holds up quite well and quite nicely. I'm very curious to see when and if they're going to put out Terror Propaganda or Fuck the Universe, because those albums are probably next in line to get reissues, and they definitely need them and deserve them. But yeah, if you're not familiar with THROAAT's work, I definitely would recommend getting into Total Soul Rape. This album is a classic. So anyway, here's the front cover. Super glossy jacket here, and you have the foil. You have the foil embossment on the THROAAT logo here. Very, very cool. Back cover. You have Death to Planet Earth on here. Track listing and credits. As you can see, Season of Mist put this out. And this is a pretty bare bones record, and the copy that I got is limited to 600 copies, and it comes on a standard white vinyl. Very simplistic labels going on here. Side A, Side B for this one. But yeah, THROAAT's early black metal material is absolutely classic, and it still holds up quite well. I'm very, very excited to see what happens next with THROAAT. If they put out something new, if they reissue something old, it doesn't matter. THROAAT are fucking awesome. Total Soul Rape, definitely check this one out. From Sweden, we moved to New York for this next one, and we have a band that I feel a lot of people don't know all that much about, but I definitely would recommend anybody give this band a shot. They need to be listened to. This is THROAAT with Reflections in Darkness. Yeah. This is released in 2017 through Dying Victims Productions, and yeah, these guys are based out of New York, and they play this really nasty, dirty hybrid of speed metal, black metal. There's just a really dark and cutthroat sort of sound going for a band like this. And listening to this album all the way through just shows you the lion's share of potential a band like THROAAT has, because prior to this album, they had been putting out a whole bunch of demo and EP related material, which is really, really good and exciting. But this album, this full-length album, is just a showcase of what would soon be coming from a band like THROAAT. And this album is really badass to listen to. Songs like Burning the Ice, Alive Inside the Pentagram, Tormentia, Part 1 and Part 2, Impaler's Night. Absolutely killer stuff here. I love the riffs, I love the vocals, I love the energy. This is just a very high energy sort of release, and I definitely am excited to hear what happens next with this band. If I'm not mistaken, one of the guitar players in this band is also in another band called Ordeals, which is a really, really good black metal band from the US to be paying attention to. But yeah, THROAAT are killer, and they definitely need some more love and attention. So anyway, here's the front cover. Love this artwork here, love the band logo, very, very badass. Back cover, some more artwork, track listing, credits. This vinyl version got a lot of stuff that came with it, which I think is a very nice touch. Comes with a lyric sheet. You have lyrics for the vast majority of the tracks that are on here. Some credits and thank yous. Yeah, it also came with a bunch of interesting stuff here. Came with a download code, bunch of stickers, poster with the album cover art, Yeah, very, very cool quality on this thing. Fold the poster back up here. And I don't know the limitation for this particular vinyl record, but I believe they all came on standard black vinyl. Dig the center labels. Very, very nice. It's a thin sort of black vinyl, but it sounds great. Did a bang-up job with this one. But yeah, definitely support a band like THROAAT. They need to be paid attention to a hell of a lot more. Reflections in Darkness. Yeah, check this one out. And the last record I'm going to show you here is from the mighty minds of both Adrian Weber and Mark Riddick, two very prolific sorts of musicians coming together to create something very, very evil, sick, and twisted. This is Macabre with To The Bone. Yeah. This was released in 2016 through, I believe, Mark Riddick's label, and this is a vinyl version put out through Apocalyptic Empire. Of course, if you know Macabre, it is a band based out of both the United States and Belgium, the US side being Mark Riddick. Of course, you know him for being a very well-established artist, illustrator, and musician. Of course, he's in Fetus Zombie and assorted other projects. And of course, the Belgian side, you have the very prolific Adrian Weber, whom you may know best for his work with Luger, Vociferian, Alienante Damnation, just so many great projects. But To The Bone is the second full-length from Macabre, and I think this is definitely a much better album. There's a deep-seated sort of feeling when it comes to the music and the lyrical content of this record, but I definitely feel that that everything works out and pans out very, very well here with this album. Songs like Death Speculation, Global Brainwash Confederacy, Crucified Individuals Nation, Cannibal Black Market, that's another great track on this one. This album still holds up very, very well and very nicely, and if you're into anything Mark Riddick does, I definitely would recommend checking out Macabre. This is a really, really killer album, and it's still awesome to listen to. So anyway, here's the front cover. Yeah, uncoated stock on this thing. Love the album cover art. I believe Dan Seagrave did the artwork. Very, very sick green painting here. The Macabre logo is sick. Excuse me. Back cover with some more Mark Riddick artwork. Track listing and credits. Once again, Apocalyptic Empire put this out. Comes with a lyric sheet with some more artwork, more credits and lyrics and everything. Very, very cool. And I believe this vinyl copy came limited to 500 copies, and this variant I got came on this absolutely gorgeous translucent green with light green splatter. Amazing vinyl color here. You get more of the light green on side B here. Very, very beautiful. Great sounding record. Great looking record too. But yeah, Macabre are fucking awesome, and I am very, very pleased with how they put out this record. I can't wait to hear and see what comes from this project next. If they decide to do something else next, I will be ready and waiting with anticipation for it. So yeah, Macabre, To The Bone, definitely check this one out. And with that being said, I'm going to conclude this video. I'm going to leave you some links to some of the bands I talked to you about here in this video. If you happen to have heard or own any of these releases, definitely let me know what you think about it, how you feel about it, and we can go from there. Have a great rest of your weekend. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for checking out my channel, and until next time, Army Hell out.